The restaurant buzzed with the soft hum of conversations and the gentle clinking of fine silverware. But at the corner table, Alex felt a strange unease. It was supposed to be a special night, a night to unwind. Natalie, his girlfriend, had chosen the perfect setting for their dinner, and he had been looking forward to it all week. But as she handed him a slice of cake, something about the way she paused made him uneasy. His fork hovered above the plate, but a strange knot formed in his stomach. The slice of cake that once promised sweetness now felt like something else entirely. "Excuse me, sir," a voice interrupted, sharp yet polite. It was Emma, the waitress, who had been working here for years. Her eyes flickered from Natalie to the cake with a knowing look. "She put something in your cake." Alex froze, the words ringing in his ears. He looked at Natalie, who suddenly seemed smaller, as if the table had grown between them, separating them with an invisible wall. What was going on? Why would Natalie do something like this? And what did Emma know that he didn't? Where are you watching from tonight? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this. The air between Alex and Natalie grew heavy, thick with tension. Natalie's smile faltered as she tried to read his face. But Alex couldn't read anything anymore, not with this sudden fog clouding his mind. His hand instinctively reached for the fork, but it felt like lead in his grasp. Slowly, he set it down, his eyes never leaving Natalie's. "It's nothing, Alex," Natalie finally spoke, her voice faltering, as if she was trying to convince both him and herself. "I just wanted to help, that's all." But her words felt hollow. She had tried to control something, and it had gone wrong. Alex turned to Emma, who stood with a calm expression but unwavering gaze. "I've worked here long enough to know when something's off," Emma said quietly. "I saw her slip something into the cake before she served it. I didn't think it was right to stay silent." The words hit Alex like a punch to the gut. He had always prided himself on being in control, his business, his health, his relationships. But right now, none of it felt like his anymore. He had no control over this moment. His world tilted sideways. "What did you put in my cake, Natalie?" Alex's voice was steady, but the storm raging inside him could be heard beneath the calm surface. Natalie's face flushed as she gripped the table, her fingers trembling. She opened her mouth to speak, but hesitated. The words stuck in her throat. "It's just a little something," she muttered, looking everywhere but at him. "A supplement. I thought if you ate it, it would help you relax. You've been so stressed lately, Alex. I just wanted you to slow down." The words hung between them, thick with unspoken implications. She hadn't done this out of kindness. She had done it out of fear, a fear that had twisted into manipulation. Alex felt his stomach tighten. He had been working too hard. He had been too focused on everything but her. But this wasn't love, not the love he knew. This was something else entirely. Emma, still standing nearby, stepped forward, lowering her voice. "I'm sorry to be the one to say this, but I think it's more than just helping him relax." Alex glanced at Emma, then back at Natalie. She had once been full of charm, of affection, of trust, but now she felt like a stranger, a person he didn't know, a person who had betrayed him. "Why didn't you tell me about this, Natalie? Why did you have to do it behind my back?" Natalie's eyes welled with tears, her lower lip quivering. But there was no denying the guilt on her face. "I didn't want to lose you," she whispered, her voice breaking. "I thought if I could just get you to slow down, maybe you'd finally notice me again." The truth hung in the air like a dense fog. Alex's heart sank. He had been buried in work for months, too distracted to see how much she was suffering, how much she had needed him. And now those cracks in their relationship had shattered any semblance of trust.
Emma's soft voice cut through the tension. "You deserve the truth, Alex," she said gently. "No one should feel like they have to do something like this to keep someone's attention." Alex nodded slowly, the weight of the moment pressing on him. "I need to think," he said, his voice tight. "We'll talk later, Natalie." Stepping outside into the cool night air, Alex felt the world around him blur. The restaurant's noise faded into a distant hum as he leaned against the cool brick wall, trying to steady his breathing. He had always been in control, always in charge, but tonight he had lost everything he thought he knew about his life, his relationship, and the woman he had trusted. How could he have missed the signs, the manipulation, the quiet desperation? He wasn't sure how long he stood there before Emma appeared beside him, her soft footsteps breaking through the storm in his mind. "Are you okay?" Emma asked, her voice tentative but kind. Alex exhaled slowly, finally turning to her. "I don't know," he admitted, his voice thick with confusion and emotion. "I've never been in a situation like this before. I thought I had everything figured out, but now everything feels wrong." Emma's face softened, and she gave him a reassuring smile. "It's not easy, Alex. Relationships aren't always perfect. Sometimes we don't see what's right in front of us until it's too late. But what Natalie did, I can't wrap my head around it." "She was scared," Alex murmured. "She was scared of losing me, but also scared of not being enough. She thought she could control me, control how I felt." Emma nodded, her expression sympathetic. "People do strange things when they're afraid," she said softly. "It's not your fault, Alex. Fear can make us do things we never thought we would." Her words resonated deeply with Alex. He had always thought of fear as something to conquer, something to defeat with sheer willpower. But maybe it wasn't that simple. Maybe fear was something to understand, something to face, not just overcome. "I've been so caught up in myself," Alex admitted quietly, his gaze distant. "In the business, in my health, in everything but her. And now I don't know how to fix this." Emma placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "You can't fix everything, Alex," she said softly, "but you can decide what to do next. You need to choose if you want to fight for this relationship or if it's time to let go. Whatever you decide, it's okay, but make sure you do it for the right reasons, not out of guilt or fear." Her words hung in the air, and Alex let them settle in his chest. For the first time that evening, the weight on his shoulders didn't feel as heavy. He still didn't have all the answers, but maybe, just maybe, he could find a way to move forward. "I don't know what I'm going to do yet," Alex said, his voice quieter now, "but thank you for speaking up tonight. I wouldn't have known what to do without you." Emma smiled, her eyes warm. "You don't have to thank me. I just did what anyone would do. You deserve honesty, Alex. You deserve to be with someone who wants you to be the best version of yourself, not someone who tries to control you." Alex took a deep breath, feeling a strange sense of peace that he hadn't felt in a long time. The decision wasn't easy, but he knew it was the first step toward healing. He had to confront Natalie, but more importantly, he had to confront his own fears, his fear of being controlled, his fear of vulnerability, and his fear of not being enough. But would that conversation bring the answers he was looking for? He wasn't sure, but one thing was certain. He couldn't run away from this. He had to face it head on. As he walked back to the restaurant, his mind raced. Could he rebuild the trust? Or was it already too late? The door swung open, and there she was, Natalie, sitting alone at their table, hands folded in front of her, looking small and vulnerable, a sight he wasn't sure he would ever forget. He stepped forward. "I need to talk," he said softly, his voice steady. "But first, I need to know if you're really willing to change." Her eyes met his, and the silence between them spoke louder than any words could. This was it, the moment of truth.